Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Hey, I'm Christian Cano. You're the co-host. My buttons are Moms Demand Action, Gunsmiths Legislation, Healthcare for All, Medicare for All, and also in my heart, Black Lives Matter on behalf of Joe Oldham, who's a guest of ours who passed away last year. That's it.
Hello, this is Jenny James Gunn. I am a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina for LGBT women's rights with the National Organization for Women, gun sense laws with Moms Demand Action, and anything that extends equity to all. Thank you.
Howdy y'all, Christian Cano here at the terrific new theater in Birmingham, Alabama.
My name is Tamara DeBolt. I'm the executive director of Terrific New Theater, the theater in which this glorious world premiere is taking place.
And I'm Del Shores, and I'm not a cast member. I wrote TheRecipeBox, and I directed it. Yeah.
I'm Emerson Collins, and I play Rick Sprague, the depressive math professor who gets left by his husband and stuck with his mother-in-law.
I am the mother-in-law he is stuck with. My name is Carrie Gisler Oliver, and I play Luwanda Bayless, and she's a fun little character. I enjoy her very much. Well, actually, I didn't know I was drawn to her until I got the role. Tam called me the day before auditions and said, "You're coming to auditions, aren't you?" And I was like, oh, okay. So I came, and the piece that I had to memorize was half part hilarious and then half relatable in a scary way. So I knew it was a role I really wanted. So I was really glad I got it. So then it was just uphill from there, or downhill from there, or sometimes uphill.
And for me, I sort of love this idea of a man who wants to do okay in life, but has a significant childhood trauma that sort of overwhelms him into adulthood, and what that does to the relationships with the other characters and people in his life. And I find that really fascinating. It's we're all broken for various different reasons, and the particular things that he is stuck in that he can't get past, and how it impacts his relationships, and what it means to work through that and build a new relationship and sort of rediscover yourself was a really exciting sort of cliff to jump off of into this really great play.
So we have a great fall lineup, and we encourage you to tune in to many of our fabulous shows, like our Say show, and many more things in October and November as well. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all, thanks for watching, and support local black and brown businesses, including our sponsor, Manolo's Bakery, that has some fabulous pastries, food, cheesecakes, all kinds of specialty cakes, tamales, and much, much more. Some of the best food you eat in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, Manolo's Bakery, right here in East Charlotte. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all, thanks for watching our spring shows and sticking with us. And we've got a fabulous summer lineup. I hope y'all are excited as I am. And let's enjoy our summers. Hot Girl Summer 2024. See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye y'all. Hey y'all, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and your favorite audio podcast platforms. You can catch your special editions of Coffee and Pan Dulce, as always. And we appreciate y'all listening. And we're going to do more episodes. We're going to do some zany things in 2025. And most of all, we're going to have lots of fun, as always. Thanks for listening. And look for the new shouts. Appreciate it.
Hi, this is Euronce Pascual Mateo. I am back. Spedicare is back in 2026, and yes, my hiatus was sad, and it was caused by a bunch of, butthurt losers. But I'm not gonna say that. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm gonna be annoying. I'm gonna say fuck fascism, and I'm gonna stand up against this shit. So please, like, subscribe, enjoy my show, and let's fight against the bullshit that we continue to live through.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching the Florida shows. They've been wildly successful. Obviously, it's a topic that you guys have enjoyed and wanted to know more of. And we like talking about the dumpster fire that used to be the state of Florida. And we'll probably talk about it some more this summer. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Well, this lady right here, my friend Tam, and this wonderful theater. I've had a relationship with this theater longer than most of my relationships in life, except friendships. I've had a lot of friendships that lasted, but those kind of relationships. How long have y'all been doing my plays?
Wow,
Like 20 over
22 years.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of them because our producing partner, we have a production company called Beard Collins Shores, and Louise Beard is our Beard and lives here in Birmingham. And so the Beards have a lot to do with this new space. And you can explain how they...
Yes, one of the men that founded this organization in 1986, Carl W. Stewart, and Louise Beard were very good friends and were forever. And in fact, she had an adult female tap dance. Well, was it all female? Adult tap dancing group, and he did a musical called Sugar Babies, and he asked Louise to star in it with him, and they brought all of his ladies to be in the show with them. And then from that point forward, that group was forever and still today known as the Sugar Babies. Now, Louise doesn't tap anymore, and a lot of those women have aged out of the skill, but their relationship is very intertwined. And when Carl retired, they got behind this theater, wanted to make sure that it succeeded, and then COVID hit, and the Beards made a very generous donation to help us find a new place, and it was to help us renovate. And John is retired. This is a long story, I'm sorry. John is retired, and I invited him to come with us as we searched for new buildings. And one day he said, Tam, what you need to do is you need to buy a building. And I think I was in his car riding from one building to the next. And I laughed. I'm like, yeah, right. Of course, we're going to buy a building. And it wasn't 2 days. And I got an email from the both of them that said, we would like to help you find a building. And they increased their pledge to an amount that exceeded the cost of this building. So in essence, they purchased this building for the theater and gave it to us as a gift. So without their enormous and unbelievable generosity, none of this would be here.
And then Dell and I have a foundation, the Dell Shores Foundation, that's specifically to develop new LGBTQ plus playwrights and screenwriters that we started right before the pandemic, and Terrific New Theater was one of our partners. And so because we work so closely with Louise, as they finally got the building finished and opened, I called Tam and said, I know you have a brand new building, but we'd love to come and do our Dell Shores Foundation Writers Festival at your new building in Birmingham if you'll have us. And she said yes. So a year ago, we were here to do that in their, at that point, literally brand new building, and we brought all these writers and professionals to town. And then Dell's been working on this play for 2.5 years, and I turned to him as it was finishing the workshops and said, let's just go do it in Birmingham. Louise is there, Tam has this beautiful new building, and so we called Tam and said, hey, do you want to host the world premiere of Dell's new play? And all but one have been done, in Los Angeles. So for all of us, it was very exciting to get to come here and make it really special.
And I want to go back to Carrie because, I wrote this role for Emerson Collins, who I call my muse, and he's my producing partner as well. But anybody who saw it last night, he just sells as an amazing actor in this role. It does feel like I wrote it for you. It has so much nuance and layers and humor and sadness, but every now and then, when you, as a writer, as a director, and Emerson was on the other side of that table, I always tell actors, you need to see on the other side of the table when actors audition. But Carrie came in, and I honestly thought this is a courtesy audition or something, because she hasn't acted on stage for about 7 years, right? 6 years, and she brought in like a piece of paper with some pictures taped to it, and then she had made a copy of that, and I thought, oh, you poor thing. And she opened her mouth, and Emerson and I just looked at each other, and it was a jaw-dropping audition, and you saw a jaw-dropping performance last night, and she just grew and grew and grew into this role and wanted so much to get every aspect of it, because she's not perfect. No. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to give you the shout out you deserve, because last night we saw what I feel, if this were on a stage in New York, you would get nominations.
So I was asked that earlier, and of course there is this hilarious piece where it's all about an air fryer, and she has a very strong opinion about air fryers, and she says, air doesn't fry anything, grease does. And that's hilarious. Dell is really known for these amazing comedic lines and these, things that people repeat and go home saying, and that's definitely one of them. But this piece is, and I don't want to say it's a departure, because all of your pieces have that mix of pathos and humor. But this piece has a broader mix of that. And there is a point when we're up on the stage where she's been kind of battling with her son-in-law, she's been thrust upon. And she knows his mother called him Ricky. And she desperately wants to call him that, but he refuses to let her. And there's this moment, and I'm getting a little misty-eyed thinking about it, but there's this moment where she finally asks him, they've had a moment. She said, can I please call you Ricky now? And he kind of nods reluctantly, and it makes me cry thinking about it. It's just a beautiful expression in an unusual way of acceptance, It was beautiful.
None of mine are my lines. They're other people's. But there's a glorious thing in the way that Del writes for people who are storytellers. Many of his characters across many of his work, they tell great stories. They find life humorous and they share. And so there's a lot of talk-a-lot characters. And we've been working together for 20 years now. And so various lines of his dialogue pop up in I just say them. Like we end up saying them at somebody. And my favorite lines through all of his work are the lines where someone is basically saying to someone else, you talk too much. And I'm going to give you 2 examples leading up to my new favorite. In his play Yellow, there is a militant religious woman who is being told a story. And her response to the other woman is she turns and she says, I do not care, Kate Westmoreland. And I say it all the time when someone is talking and I am not interested in the story. And then in the movie A Very Sordid Wedding, Leslie Jordan as Brother Boy is listening to a very long story from his sister, LaVonda, Ann Walker. And he's sitting in his bed, and then he turns to her and he goes, that's a lot of detail, LaVonda. And so my new one, Carrie delivers as LaVonda on the stage to the character Una. And she says, I wish that was of more interest to me. Oh, there's so many lines that I don't know about, Tim, that I didn't expect to be such big laughs. And like when Joa says, I'm the villain, and then he lists all these, Hannibal Lecter and the Joker, and then he goes, Mr. Big, season 2. And the place just, and he wasn't expecting it. Yeah. Oh, I have to say, there's another line that's so Birmingham specific about Louise, where Una, the character Una, played brilliantly by Sherwana Wheeler, they're talking about collecting snow globes, and she says, stupid hobby like some old woman collecting pigs. Is that? And that's Louise collects pigs. So that's why last night it was an inappropriate response. I mean, people go, and then, but I was like, I was talking about you on the way over here because many years ago when we did the Trials and Tribulations of a Trailer Trash Housewife, Octavia had never done a play. I did not know this until previews. And I said, why aren't you holding for laughs? She goes, what do you mean? And I said, you have to hold for laughs. And you just hold, just stop. And I was going, whew, she learned fast. I mean, she was able to do it very quickly. And last night, I just watched you because when she says that line, it gets such a response. And her follow-up is, I collect pigs. And then Una goes, I know. And which is hysterical. You waited so long, and it was brilliant. So I said, that bitch got it.
Walking to that, because I was like,
you walked up to her.
Walked up to her because it just.
Hey, thanks for listening to us as always on Coffee Pan Dulce. And just to let you know, we're on all the audio podcast platforms. So work it out or whatever, you can just listen to us. Or if you want to see our bright, shiny faces, we're on YouTube and Facebook. You can even be fans and you can comment on our shows on the Facebook platform. And drown out the people who don't actually listen to the show but like to play us. But anyway, we appreciate y'all very much, and keep on listening so that Christian and I are just not sitting here talking to ourselves. Have a great year.
Thank you everybody for watching Coffee and Pan Dulce. Jenny and Chris had an amazing talk right there, and this is Yorense from Espera Que. Our show is on Thursdays, 7 p.m. on every podcast places where you get podcasts, podcasts, brain fart. But if you want to listen to me doing brain farts and having hot takes and leftist takes and just screaming at the shitty burning world we are living in, come over to Espera Que. You're going to have a fun time.
So Louise,
The famous John and Louise
of the famous John and Louise Beard. Do you know the story? You might know the story better than I do. Do you know the story of why?
No.
So
I don't think any of us.
I don't know. She collects pigs, and she does something called porking. So she'll go and buy little miniature pigs of various kinds, and then if she wants to honor you, and it is an honor, she will pork you. She will give you one of those little pigs. And, I have 4 or 5 tucked in pockets here and there that I keep around. And it's really an honor. It's a good luck charm. She has done it at the Tony Awards. She has slipped pigs into various stars' pockets. Hugh Jackman gave her, and you told the story.
Levi Kreis, a good friend of Emerson and mine, he won the Tony for $1 Million Quartet, and Louise knew him. And we went backstage before he won the Tony after his great performance, and she gave him, she porked him, and he kept the pig on his piano playing Jerry Lee Lewis the entire time. And so, yeah, she always says something. She says in Germany, it was if you had a pig, it meant that you were fed. And that you were prosperous. So it's about prosperity. So.
Well, I know.
Oh, I have quite a little ritual. So I sit backstage every show I've ever done, and I just ask the world for honesty and for my ability to listen. And it doesn't matter what kind of play, musical you're doing. If you're doing a broad slapstick comedy, you still need to be honest about it. The best comedy, even the broadest comedy, comes from sincerity. I mean, you think about Carol Burnett and the Gone with the Wind parody. I mean, she was in it to win it. This was not wink, wink, nod, nod. This was, I am doing this. And so even when you are doing the biggest or smallest, honesty is the thing I've got to bring to it. So that's I just sit back there and go, be honest and listen, be honest and listen. And that's worked for me.
Yeah.
And I just make sure I don't need to go to the bathroom. No.
Have you ever had to?
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. It's being silly, but also there's nothing worse than getting 15 minutes into being on stage and being like, I really need to pee. Because no matter how much you're trying to be a character, 10% of your brain is going, wow, there's not a bathroom in this fake house. I can't use it. No, my real last thing is to really just like breathe all the way into my body. To leave the rest of the world behind, to bring in the character that is the story I'm going to tell, and it's the version of the same thing, to end up to be able to be really present. That nothing of Emerson's life, of Emerson's concerns, worries, excitement even, is present, and just let the character walk into the stage to tell the story.
Hi everybody, this is Yorense from the LatinX Show over here. All I'm here is doing a little quick PSA. Use this summer to do volunteer work. Go to your nearest YMCA, go to your nearest homeless shelter, go to whatever community services or programs that you can help out and volunteer. Because right now, we have a bunch of fascist pieces of shit trying to rip apart our country and rip apart the people, our communities, by spreading hate and bigotry. The best way to combat it is 1, working in your community and standing strong to show that you are strong and you're here to help out others. 2, combat misinformation. If you hear bullshit, first research and make sure if it's true or not. If it is not true, call it out. If it is true, get the facts. Be knowledgeable of it because it might come out later. So always stand against that. And 3, fuck fascists. Stand against them. Make them feel uncomfortable. There is too many people out there feeling like they can say the hard R or say slurs or be violent. Make them understand that a lot of people die to make sure this hatred and bigotry does not exist. All our civil rights workers, all the people who restored normity, everybody who fought against intolerance and hatred, they died and worked their asses off to stop this. So follow in their footsteps and stop this madness. This is Yorense again from LatinX, and all I can say is be there for your community and stand up for what's right. Fuck fascism and have a wonderful day.
Hey y'all, thanks as always for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. And guess what? As part of our Cannis media family of shows, we have a sister show that's been running alongside the Coffee Show for 6 years, 6 seasons. And it's 2 queers in a truck. And in fact, we've been on air, as it says right behind Christian as we record this, in case you're watching the video version of this. It's exciting. It's a little different. It comes more from obviously the queer perspective because it's 2 queers in a truck. And we invite you to listen to it. You don't have to be queer to listen. And I promise it most likely will not give you scabies. I can't 100% verify that, but it's just a medical rumor started by me, actually. But anyway, come out and check us out on our sister show, Two Queers in a Truck, and all the exciting 2025 news shows on the Cannis Media family. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
What I love, because obviously been deeply involved in Del's work, and I, as everyone else, basically was a fan before I came to be involved. What I love and the beauty of the piece is I come away from it going, being a person is hard. At its best, it's hard. At its worst, it's horrifying. And there's a beautiful exploration in this piece of going, all of us are doing what we can. And one of the best things you can do is to meet people where they are today, not where they were before. And I think that's the gift of what these characters are. And I think the human aspect of what we walk away when we finish laughing from this is that, be honest with yourself, but see the person you're with for where they are now.
I think the key word in this play for every single character, even Una, who is the least flawed of all of us, is redemption. There's, I'm in my late 60s, early 70s. Carrie Gisler, Oliver, is not. She's 60. But the character is older and is not a great mom. Rick has had demons for decades. There's flaws in humanity, and no matter what the age, no matter what your circumstances, Del has written redemption for everybody. Everybody has a moment where they let go of whatever it was. Una and LaWanda don't get along at the beginning. They're vying for the attention of Rick. And then they become great friends. And everybody gets that moment. And I just want everybody to walk away. And I had a gentleman come up to me last night, and he said, "You remind me of my mother, and I think I need to call her." And he was crying, and he hugged me, and I thought, okay, I'm done. I did my thing. You did your thing.
I had a woman come up to me last night, and she started crying before she said anything to me. And she said, "I really needed this play because just today I said, I feel like a burden." And she said, and I just feel valid after I saw this play. And it's weird because another good friend of ours, Josh, is caretaking right now for his mother, and it resonated with him as well. A lot of the, the dynamics of the flawed character of your character. And for me, it's like, and Tam, you've been doing this so long, it's when you're not expecting somebody to resonate, to connect. Someone else said that they struggle with depression, and you're just the validation that they saw somebody else, how it can shut you down with other people. So anyway, but what I love is that people get to escape this world for a couple of hours and just live on this porch with these people and laugh and feel a little bit.
For me, it's more general. Even though I love this play and this opportunity, the fact that I'm in a position to be able to offer an opportunity for strangers to come into a room, sit shoulder to shoulder, and have an experience in the dark. I love it.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching our Coffee Pan Dulce show every week. Don't forget you can watch us visually on our video podcast platforms on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all of the other ones that your favorite, whatever your favorite is. Once again, thank you for watching us on Coffee Pan Dulce. We'll dance out.
Jack.
Jack. That's just Jack.
Okay. The other one is acting involves making pleasant faces, moving to the right spot.
Oh, well, that's just me. That's my personal philosophy. I want to make attractive faces and move to the right places.
Find my life.
All right. Well, sorry, Dale. Seems like Jack is winning here.
Yes, he is.
The next one is acting coach method is rooted in self-absorption and vanity, and it emphasizes the performer's need for attention and applause.
It's a tough one.
That is tough,
It's just
because
really
it's
tough,
kind
you
of
know?
true.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is just Jack catalog that we're
Yes.
experiencing currently.
Yes, but it's true though, because
Oh,
I
is
don't
it?
know an
Okay.
actor that doesn't secretly pretend to want the applause.
Because otherwise we would do these monologues in our bedroom and and we wouldn't, look, we're annoyed if no one comes.
All right.
Well, I kind of want to say that's Dell.
Well, I kind of want to too.
Apparently you said that one time, Dale. so-
God, I don't remember. I'm getting so old. I don't even remember the pearls of wisdom I have cast.
I think that's beautiful. I kind of like that.
And then the last quiz question is, which acting method encourages blending humor with deep, dramatic, and often painful emotional truths?
That is
Well.
not Jack.
It's not. And that doesn't describe a Dill Shore's direction in a piece in a
Thank
play. I
you.
don't know
I
what
think I've
does.
heard it 17 times.
It's like, also, we can add one more. You can always do the Corky St. Clair, where you look away from the person and open your eyes while you say the line, and then you look at them and close them. We watched a lot of Catherine O'Hara this week in honor of.
Okay.
My
Oh, yes.
big one, though, is
Sure.
scratch deeper. For actors and writers, you go, okay, I've directed actors, and I go, what are you playing? I'm playing a crazy person. Okay, specifically, what kind of crazy? I don't know. It said something about schizophrenia, and I go, well, you tell me, please, what that is. And then, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, then you didn't do your work. You have to scratch deeper. When someone's an asshole, and which Carrie's character is quite often, as is Rick's, why? Where did that come from? Where did that anger come from? It's, because I say it to people out in public all the time. I'm pretty sure I'm not the reason you're unhappy.
But I will be.
Hey y'all, thanks for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. And one of our big things is that if you've missed any of our other shows, we are on Facebook, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple for the most part, and a bunch of other audio podcast platforms. So if you've missed us, come back. The water's fine. Dip on in. It's 85 degrees here in my imagination. But anyway, we have 332 episodes in the tank. You can pull up any of them. And most of all, we have fresh ones dropping most weeks. And we got 3 more shows coming. Be excited. But as always, thanks for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. And look forward to the 2025 season. Thanks, y'all.
Hiya.
Up next is Two Queers in a Truck with Jenny and Christian. And hope you guys tune in. We'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Bye.
What I would say is that theater is community. As humans, we are social creatures. We are meant to experience life together. We are meant to go through it together. And what theater does is it brings us together as a community, your local community, to experience something. I think at its best, theater either entertains or edifies, and ideally it does both. It can challenge you to consider a perspective and experience you've never experienced before, or it can just be a wonderful, delightful diversion after a long and exhausting day. The full range of theater is available to you, and if you don't like one kind of play, go find another kind. Theater truly is for everyone.
Why should people come and see a play? Gosh, I feel people sit at home and watch, Netflix and whatever they go to movies and, sit and eat popcorn and drink soda pop or whatever. But this experience is so different from any of that. It's you feel it in your heart. You hear the character speak. It's just it's a full body experience for me, really, when the audience is this close to the stage and you're right there. You can see the sweat, you see the tears, you hear them inhale. There's nothing like it for me, plays and musicals both.
In particular, live theater means that the show that everybody watched last night is gone. No one will ever see that show again. They're going to see a different show tonight, and they will see a different show tomorrow night, because we are listening to one another. And when you listen as an actor, then your partner on stage or partners may give you something different. And if you're listening, you're going to respond differently. Or something might break or fall and you have to deal with it. Or someone might go up and forget their line and you have to deal with it. And that excitement of anything can happen adds to that layer that they've all talked about. Live theater is dangerous and exciting.
We went over just a couple minutes, but thank y'all for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You want to add anything on the outtakes?
No, there's plenty to edit.
All right, that's it. That's it.
All right. Thank you.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
You sounded like a telenova. I really.
I'm trying this. All I have to say is, go! Yes.
Everything divine, clean, sweet.
So you're not a cast member.
I am not.
So, it shows my naivety, but what is it?
Well, our friend, I had a woman come up. Excuse me.
Well,
So I
Just one, this is kind of quirky. This is not part of this, maybe an outtakes or something. I did not realize that you were in the second Twilight movie.
Yes,
Serial killer.
I am.
I did not realize that until last night. I was talking to these two ladies from Arkansas, from Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
Yes, Melody Purdy.
Yeah, and they told me that you were that character. I said, the same one?
Yes.
It's very different.
Yes, well, and the funny, so Del wrote both of these characters for me, and you are not the first person to be disappointed to discover that this is the serial killer in real life. Since it's an outtake, I'll tell you the real story. Del and I, to promote that movie, we traveled to 45 cities in 6 months to do morning shows, VIP events, red carpets, to get the movie out into the world. This was our third city doing a Q&A, and a man stands up, and it's me and Del. And at the time, my head was still shaved. And this queen of a certain age stands up and says, who was the serial killer? And we both laugh. And then he very cute, no, who was the serial killer? And Del was like, Emerson. And he went, oh. And I went, I know, the taffeta that flies out of my mouth is not nearly as masculine as that character.
well, tell him about Leslie. He can't play that.
Well, first of all, Del wrote this Bonnie and Clyde duo for the two of us, basically, to do, and Leslie read the script, and he said, Daleford, do you think Emerson can butch it up? We get onto the set. We spend 90 minutes putting tattoos onto me. And I'm also producing the movie, and Del's directing, and we're running around, and Leslie saunters over once and looked me up and said, well, Emerson, if I didn't know you, I'd almost be attracted to you. Yes, I wrote him a big dick, ballless, bisexual serial killer role. You know, you just write you write what you know.
and typecasting.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is the Jenny Award.
And this is the Pendejo Chronicles.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.